Council. 10th. Good evening, everyone. I'll call to order this meeting of Marion City Council of 10th of November, 2025. Clerk, if you will take roll.
Mr. Barr?
Present.
Mr. Ratliff?
Present.
Mr. Schauber?
Here.
Ms. Lang?
Present.
Mr. T. Smith?
Here.
Mr. Prater?
Present.
Mr. Dickel?
Present.
Mr. R. Smith?
Present.
Mr. Rollins?
Present.
Mrs. Stoneberg?
Here. And then we'll begin with our invocation by Pastor Jackie Peterson of Focus.
Let us pray. Lord, we thank you for tonight regarding our community of Marion and for all of the leaders. We realize that it's an honor and a privilege to lead. I lift up and I pray for this council. Thank you for the men and women who are sacrificing their time to watch over the well-being of all the residents of Marion. I pray that every decision that's made be one of compassion, equity, and justice. I pray for wisdom and grace and your covering over this council. I pray over this space tonight that the spirit of unity and peace and respect will rest. Each person that will speak, each person that will take the podium will come with boldness, but yet with respect. I pray for our mayor of the city. Lead him, guide him, and direct him in the affairs of the city. I pray for all aspects of Marion City, all those that are leading. Safety directors, the judges, the law directors, the firefighters, the policemen. I pray for every leader. The scriptures, Ephesians 6:8 says, whatsoever good thing that a man does, the same shall be received of the Lord. So this is my prayer for our leaders: wisdom, grace, knowledge, understanding, and protection. As you do this for these leaders, you will do this for our community. You are a God of mercy, grace, and love. Therefore, I decree your grace, mercy, and love in the affairs of the city of Marion. It's in Jesus' name that I do pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Council, you should have minutes from 10:13 and 10:27. Mr. Rollins.
I'll yield the floor to Mr. Dickel.
I have read through them, and I don't find any errors, so I move that they be accepted.
I will second that.
All right, thank you. Motion and a second to accept the minutes. Mr. Dickel, are you ready?
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Ratliff?
Yes.
Mr. Schauber?
Yes.
Ms. Lang?
Yes.
Mr. T. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Prater?
Yes.
Mr. Dickel?
Yes.
Mr. R. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Rollins?
Yes.
Old business, item 1, ordinance 2025-104, commercial building code.
Ordinance requesting certification to enforce the state of Ohio's building code as to commercial building codes within the city of Marion.
Let's see. Mr. Dickel, this comes from your committee?
Yes, it came out of legislation and codes, and we've had several lengthy meetings on this. I have some thoughts. I don't know if anybody else on council wants to share their thoughts first.
I will.
Mr. Oshman?
Yes, I was having dinner tonight, and a couple of my friends showed up, and they just purchased a business here in Marion, and they're remodeling it. They have been waiting over 30 days for an electrical inspection. And that's the type of thing that this ordinance is designed to try to remove.
Anything further from council? Mr. Rollins?
Yeah, so I think in one of the meetings we had heard from the service director that the intended contract with the building department would be for a 12-month period. And I'm just wondering if anyone on council would be open to amending the legislation to include some verbiage that says this is for a period of 12 months and that council will review it again in November of '26.
I agree with that.
Well, I'd like to make that amendment. I'd put it at the end of section 1, so I would strike the period at the end. And it would just say, as to commercial buildings for a period of 12 months to be reviewed by council in November of 2026.
I'll second that.
At the end of section 1.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a period of 12 months to be reviewed by council November of 26. Okay, we have a motion from Mr. Rollins and a second by Mr. R. Smith to amend this ordinance. Any other questions or comments there from council? You ready, clerk?
Mr. Barr?
Abstain?
Mr. Ratliff?
Yes.
Mr. Schauber?
Yes.
Ms. Lang?
Yes.
Mr. T. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Prater?
Yes.
Mr. Dickville?
Yes.
Mr. R. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Rollins?
Yes.
Motion carries. And Mr. Vargas, for the record, could we get your abstention?
I'm in contract with a couple of renovations with commercial buildings downtown.
Thank you. Motion carries. So that being said,
Yeah, let me read it again. Ordinance requesting certification to enforce the state of Ohio's building codes as to commercial building codes within the city of Marion as amended.
Mr. Dickle, you said you had some
I
comments.
have a comment. I've read this over and over again, and my concern is, and I'm not trying to badmouth your company, sir, or anything, my concern is that we want to have an established Marion Building Code Enforcement Department. And I would like that, and I would like it to be local. And I just don't think that's what we're getting here in the big picture. I think all we're doing is contracting it to somebody other than the state. Are we going to get faster times? I don't know, that remains to be seen because we haven't done it yet. But I've talked to several local contractors over the last week or so, and the majority of them, who are involved in work right now, are completely against this. And they express that they are they're not having a problem with the state because they're building to code. And these are men I respect. They put a lot of money into this town, and they just don't seem to be having a problem with what's going on right now. I know we've heard from several people, including your friends. They have stories that, that things got delayed, and I don't know, maybe that's the exception and not the rule. But right now, I don't think what we're doing is really forming a Marion City Building Department. We're saying we are, but we're just jobbing it out to somebody else other than the state. So that's my concern.
Mr. Ratliff?
I share similar thoughts with that, is that we kind of hear from two different sides, and one says we shouldn't make a change, and the other one really has a theme of the change you need to make is have a local department. And I don't know that anybody truly has emailed or talked in complete favor of like a privatization of the service to another company. And even the email we got today, I believe it was from Mrs. Fisher, had that same theme to it about having a local department instead of somebody from Columbus that does it. And the majority of the builders that we have heard from isn't for making a change at all. The investors seem to be, but the builders themselves are not. And so, I think it's good that we amended this, because I think it could give us an opportunity to continue to try to learn. I would definitely encourage us not to act on it tonight. And that's kind of where I'm at on it.
I want to ask.
Greater.
Yes. Have the mayor or anybody who would know, does other municipalities contract out the building code inspections?
Absolutely. So to go back a little bit in history of how this even came about. So being that we're the administration, we get contacted by business owners and community members, and we try to be responsive or receptive to what they're telling us. And we continued to hear that they were having issues with the state. So I would say that really the city, we have just facilitated this conversation. We've reached out, we've looked at, what the options are. I will tell you that there is not an option, in my opinion, for us to finance our own building department. We just don't have that kind of volume to make it a full-scale, so a lot of places contract out to a third party, which is what we've looked into, and it's what we've discussed. And really the city, we as the city have kind of stayed neutral, and we want to do what's best for the community. We want to do what's best for our constituents that are either having an issue or not having an issue, and kind of let them figure out what might be best. And maybe trying this, we'll figure out if it's a better way to go, and if we figure out it's not a better way to go, then we go back the other way. I really don't have a strong opinion that, I'm beating my drum for that we have to have this or we don't have to have this, but we're trying to facilitate what the community wants and be fair to everybody. That answer that?
Thank you, Mayor Collins. Mr. Collins?
Thank you.
Yeah, just real quick, in some of the conversations that I've had with local contractors, some that do work outside of Marion County, they talk about other counties contracting with other counties to do this type of work. Fairfield County came up in some of my conversations as a county that does this type of work. Did we explore those options, maybe contracting with another county or another municipality?
That's kind of rare in that, like Wyandotte County uses a third-party company. The only one that I heard mentioned that maybe uses one county, which would be Richland County, and then it serves a couple of counties surrounding Richland. And I think it was part of the email we got today or last week that that's the place they really didn't want to have to try to get a permit because it just didn't work that well over there. So as far as that goes, there's really no surrounding counties to us that would be contiguous to us that would help us with that problem.
Ms. Rodine?
I will just add, just to reiterate what the mayor said, this is strictly something was brought to us by the citizens, and we are bringing it to you for the citizens. All that being said, we've had numerous meetings with Mr. Schaefer, and I feel pretty confident that he would be a man of his word. I know a lot of there's a certain thing when you see somebody and you meet somebody and you've spoken to them several times, you can see if they're really a master of their craft or somebody that really has the desire. And like I said, once again, I'm not for it or against it. I'm here for whatever the people want, but I do have a lot more faith in the other options we went down in the beginning with another company when Mr. Neff was here, and he asked us to do another request for qualifications. All that being said, I did get the email like you guys got today. I read through that. So that's kind of where I stand.
Thank you. Wishes of council? Mr. Teesman?
Yeah, I just have a question for either the mayor or Mr. Bodine. Is it true that there will be a little more recourse for contractors to, like, they can get a hold of you if they have an issue with the building code manager, Mr. Schaefer here, if he's not performing the job correctly, if he were were to be the person hired. Is that correct? What kind of oversight is on his company, I suppose?
I mean, initially it all falls on him, but we are still partners in this with him, as in you come to City Hall to get your permit. We take your permit fee, he handles it from there. If you guys have complaints, now that we have somebody local, it would be much easier to get directly a hold of Mr. Schaefer than it would be the state. So absolutely, we have some oversight.
Okay.
Mr. Dichtel?
But if there is a problem or a challenge to a decision that's made, it just goes back to the state anyway, doesn't it? So it ends up at the state anyway,
If it
my
goes-
understanding.
Well, so it depends. It depends. If it goes to a review board, that's done by the state, yeah.
Mr. Arsmith, I saw your hand up.
Yes, I wanted to say that Mr. Rollins made a good amendment there in suggesting that we do a 12-month trial period. And so I would like to make a motion that we adopt this.
We have to suspend the rules because this went back to the first reading due to the amendment.
Oh, okay. I'll make a motion, we suspend the rules.
We have a motion to suspend the rules. Hearing no second, I guess we leave it at a first reading. Item number 2, ordinance 2025-105, commercial building inspections.
Ordinance to establish the City of Marion Commercial Building Code Enforcement Department.
Mr. Dichtel, sorry.
Yeah, this goes hand in hand with the previous. I'm not exactly sure what we do with this because we have to pass these both at the same time, I believe. So do we just send this back or just sit on this until the other one comes up for a vote?
Mr. Radley?
Never seen this, but can we postpone something to a time certain, which would be the third reading of the preceding motion, or the preceding ordinance?
You can, but I have a suggestion that possibly make an amendment like was made on the previous ordinance to the end of section 1 here, so they read the same. It's going to let them ride together in that way.
Mr. Rollins?
Yeah, I was going to make the exact same amendment, motion to amend at the end of section 1 with the exact same verbiage.
Okay.
If that was a motion, I'll second it.
It was.
Okay, we have a motion and a second from Mr. Rollins and Mr. Radley. Anybody else? Any further discussion? Okay.
Mr. Barr?
Abstain.
Mr. Ratliff?
Yes.
Mr. Schauber?
Yes.
Ms. Lang?
Yes.
Mr. T. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Prater?
Yes.
Mr. Dickle?
Yes.
Mr. R. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Rollins?
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Yes.
Ordinance to establish the City of Marion Commercial Building Code Enforcement Department as amended.
Anything further on that? We'll leave that as a first reading then. Item number 3, ordinance 2025-106, economic development director amended.
Ordinance to amend ordinance number 1969-29, known as the Yarger Report, as ordinance 1982-154 created the position of Economic Development Director. Council now finds a real and present need to reestablish the position as amended.
And Mr. T. Smith, it comes from your committee.
It sure did. It came out with no recommendation. Had some amendments added to it. Tonight is the third reading. Not sure if the mayor would like to add anything to it. I, for one, am in support of this, especially after we see some of the cost savings that the mayor's come up with to help fund the position. So if you'd like to fill us in, Mayor, please do.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. So this has been a long process. we've been without an executive, we've been out without an executive director for economic development since May. And actually a very robust economic development partner or effort even prior to that. So we're way behind the 8 ball on this from the beginning, and we're trying to catch up. We went through a several-step process of working with Can-Do, working with county commissioners, and now working with city council to finally make it to our 3rd reading of this, to approve this job description, actually to reapprove and amend the job description that we had many years ago here as an economic development director. We had talked in the past, to refresh everybody's memory, so what we're looking at is up to a $120,000 salary for this person that would be split equally between us and the county. This person would act on behalf of the city of Marion and the county of Marion. I think as Ken can sit here and tell you, a lot of times those go hand in hand when we're working with people that come into the community and they're not really trying to decide if they want to be in the city or county, just whether they want to be in Marion or not. So we work very hard to keep those people here. So our half would be approximately $40,000. We've already not spent this year in 2025 $41,600 that we would have sent to Can-Do. We held back on that, and then toward the end of the year we decided we're not paying anything because we were looking at something like this to happen, and we could put that money toward that. So we've been having budget discussions with all of our department heads. We're on our 2nd round of those discussions. It's no secret to anybody that I had sent a letter to the state asking for a fiscal analysis, and I expect to hear something back from them very soon. But two of the things they mentioned is, one, we have to look at how to cut our expenses, which we're going through the budget process going into 2026. We also have to figure out how to increase revenue. And I think everybody sitting on council tonight could agree, without a good economic development person, it's going to be hard for us to increase revenue. There's only so many ways you can do that, and one of the main ways to do that is retaining and expanding local business and bringing in new business. So I'm hoping that council sees the need for this tonight, with the assurance that Chelsea and I have sat down and went through our budget. We can budget it for 2026. It's going to be kind of a push for 27, 26. Since we didn't pay this year, we'll use that for our half next year. But I feel confident in our ability to be able to pay that and have a line item to pay that salary. And I think it's important for us to get this moving, get the job posted, get some applications in. And then should you pass this tonight, like I said, it's a many-step process. My next step will be to get with the law director and the county prosecutor to formulate a contract between the city and the county, much like we did for dispatch, about how we're going to pay, when we're going to pay, and how that works. We had talked in the past, I think Mr. Smith brought it up, about this position being an exempt position, meaning it's not part of a union. The job security of this person, as many of the jobs in the city administration, kind of hinge on what the next mayor thinks. So if the next mayor comes in and he don't think that this person's a good fit for the city, it would be, if he chose to get rid of that person, he probably could, much like many of the other positions we have throughout the city. But if that person is doing a good job, a great job, then there would be no reason for him to get rid of that person. And being that we're in a contract with the county, I would think that the county would kind of have to agree with that also, because they'll both be paying equal portion. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. I'm certainly willing to answer any questions of anything that we may have not talked about over the last several months, but we spent a lot of time and effort on this job description and kind of tweaked it and honed it, and I think we have it where we are in a position to send it out and see what kind of candidates we get for that job.
Mr. R. Smith?
Yeah, this may be a question more for the law director than the mayor, but if we in the job responsibilities, if we had a TIF oversight, could we then pay that salary out of TIF fund?
It's not that simple. I can address that, and I meant to touch on that. I thank you for bringing that back to my attention. So, one of the different options we looked at for paying for this position, or at least paying partially for this position, somebody had brought the idea to us about possibly using some of our TIF funds. The verdict is still out on that. We think that we may be able to use a small amount of TIF funds to help offset the cost of this position. But we're in conversations with Ken, the law director, and we're trying to get some solid legal answers on that. What I can assure you is, if we're allowed to do it, I certainly will explore doing that to help offset our cost and the county's cost.
Because that could save us some money.
It could save us some money.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have nothing new to add to this.
Okay.
I just wanted to say that Can Do, as it was not working. And I think this is a great idea, and it is something new and needed. Actually, not new, we had an economic development back in 1982. But I think this is a good ordinance and something that we need to do and pass tonight. So,
Mr. Rollins, and then I saw Mr. Smith.
Yeah, I just want to say that I will not be supporting this tonight, and I kind of want to explain why. I think many people have already heard why, but I haven't been convinced that bringing this position into city government is the most effective way to bring about economic development in Marion. I believe that any economic development entity within any municipality or county should be self-funding. There is absolutely no path to self-funding in a government position, in my opinion. Further, I think we're about to bring a job description as attached that includes kind of a fairy tale entity, One Marion. I don't know what One Marion is. I don't know that One Marion will ever exist. I would have liked to see some kind of contractual agreement that stated what One Marion is, but I can't vote for a fairy tale organization.
Mr. T. Smith?
The One Marion, all I can say on that is I thought that it was just part of the body of the, I didn't look at them as an organization, I suppose. So, but if, Mr. Mayor, if you could elaborate on that, I suppose.
Well, I guess my question is, the Yarger Report, for example, was written in 1962. So if we go 70 years from now and somebody looks back at the economic development position and they go, what is One Marion? What was One Marion? Well, it was a fairy tale. What is it?
Not really a fairy tale. It's kind of a concept of
We can't,
what we have been talking about One Marion being, which is an umbrella of regional planning, can-do economic development, downtown Marion Inc., the Convention and Visitor Bureau. What One Marion to us is just an expression of all of those people working together to provide a drive forward for economic development. It's really not an organization in and of itself. It's a concept of bringing all those people out of their silos, working together to forward economic development.
Mr. Ratliff?
So I was one of the driving forces at the start of this year to not fund Can Do, and I thought for a long time that Can Do was not functioning well, was not producing what they needed to for the city. And what I have seen Can Do for a long time is a scapegoat for elected officials. And when elected officials were asked, what are you doing for economic development, every single person's answer, including my own, was I support Can Do. And you would vote at the start of the year to give Can Do $40-some thousand, and then you had a hands-off approach. Well, I supported economic development because I supported Can Do. And I think that this plan here brings the job in-house. I think it puts it more in the hands of the mayor, of the county commissioners, and even some oversight of the council to where there is more responsibility on your elected officials to bring jobs here. And, bottom line is, no elected official can create jobs. No elected official can bring a job. The only thing a body of government can do is create an environment that's conducive for jobs to come and for jobs to grow. And that's the only thing that government can do. And so I just think that this is a way that that can happen. And I think it gives it more oversight to create that, and I think it's the positive step to go. It's one I've wanted to do for a long time, and I'm glad that we're able to do it this year.
Madam President, can I follow up just a little bit on what he said? I appreciate those comments and the fact that I wanted to remind everybody, I think I mentioned it a couple meetings ago, just because we haven't had a director since May doesn't mean that economic development has stopped. If Denny calls or Ken calls, we have quite often met with myself and Mike and Ken and Denny and have a couple good prospects and the holding pattern that are getting ready to come to Marion. So I think it just solidifies what you're saying about government officials being involved in trying to make that happen. And generally, when they come to town, they want to talk to the mayor. They want to talk to the mayor and see what's going on and see what we can do for them. And we want to put our best foot forward in doing that.
Thank you. Mr. Rollins?
Yeah, I actually think the One Marion concept is a great idea. I think we can accomplish a lot of this by doing exactly what we just talked about, getting all these different silos working together. I don't know that we need another body within city government to orchestrate that. I think we've got the people already that can orchestrate that. So conceptually, I agree completely with the mayor. Getting all of these entities that are already here, downtown Marion, the chamber, others engaged and all rowing in the same direction under someone's vision, I think is a great idea. But I think we've already got the pieces in place to do that.
So your problems with the language of that position? Or not?
My problem is many, but yes.
Thank you. Anything else from council?
Couldn't,
Mr. Prater?
couldn't there be like an amendment like you did with this previous ordinance that we had, like to where maybe a year from now, we would, if we passed it tonight, we would review it and see if it was working well or not?
Would you take a job if you knew that within 11 months you could be without a job?
Probably not. Yeah, you're right. I mean, that's just a thought, that like, but
It may take 4 or 5 months to find the right person for the job.
yes. But I just think as it is, and I understand Mr. Rollins' point about like wanting it to be self-funding, but do we have enough people that would be self-funding to have something right now?
Madam President,
Yes, go ahead.
I think that is a great concept, but I think we have seen historically that concept doesn't work. And it's not been working here, and the donations or the self-funding has gone down instead of up. And either that entity ceased to exist and we have nothing, or we try to circumvent that and do something on our own to keep going in the positive direction.
Thank you, Mayor Collins. Mr. Barr?
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion to approve from Mr. Barr and a second from Mr. Hickman. Any other questions?
Naomi Craig, 365 Silver Street. We were just told that the the salary is going to be $40,000. One of my concerns is that we've not heard anything from the county commissioners agreeing that they're going to do this. We've been told that, but, like a document or one of them coming over here to actually speak to us and tell us that they've agreed to this would be a good thing. Because what if January 15th they back out? Mr. Barr?
I believe if they don't go through with it, then this is null and void. Because in the language is that we're partnering with the county to pay half of it.
Okay, but have we partnered with the county? So I guess my thing is, we don't have an official partnership with them yet. We're saying, yes, we do. And now we're updating a job that already exists for up to $120,000, which is absolutely insulting to the people of the city of Marion. I'm sorry. With the amount of money that most of us make, that's just an obscene amount of money. And then I don't know if you've updated the job description or not, but to not even require a college degree for 6 figures or any type of experience in that work. Mr. Klein said that he sent it all to you, but he sent it to me. A very similar position in Delaware, economic director. 85,000 to 111 max was what the pay was, and they needed college degree, 4 years college degree, 4 to 6 years experience, I believe. There were different economic development certifications that they wanted them to have as well. And if they didn't have those certifications, then they were expected to get them, and if they had them, they were expected to maintain them. So, in theory, we could get somebody with a high school diploma to come apply for this job and make, I doubt we pay, I don't know, I don't know what I doubt anymore. But realistically, we're paying them more than $40,000 a year. By the time we start adding in their pension and their taxes and their health insurance, we need to come up with a whole lot more than $40,000 a year. Now, when this position is funded and somebody's raking in a 6-figure salary next year, and we start laying people off, I know some of you will be gone, but who do we point the finger at then? We have to lay off safety services, or a garbage man, or parks department, and somebody's sitting up here collecting their fat 6-figure paycheck. Who do we blame? What do we do? There's nothing. There's no recourse at that point. We get what we get, and we hope they bring jobs. What is financial distress, fiscal watch, fiscal caution, emergency, whatever we're going to end up in? Because you guys keep talking about a corrective action plan. We all know something's going on. You don't go into a corrective action plan if everything's hunky-dory. Now, if this happens, economic development, it all sounds great and wonderful. Can we be realistic and say that odds are nobody's going to come invest a couple $1 million in a city that is in economic distress? That's neither here nor there. But the fact, I've heard it repeatedly, the fact that we are willing to pay someone with no experience, we're not even requiring any experience, 6 figures, is an affront to the taxpayers of this city when you are telling us that we need to make cuts, we need to slash this, we need to do this with budgets, but we are creating another 6-figure position.
Mr. Schauber.
Yeah, in the exhibit of the job description, in the summary, it says, under agreement between the City of Marion, the Mayor's Office, and the Marion County Commissioners. I believe that summary is an agreement of what the job description is. It's not under agreement that the county pays half of the salary. There isn't any language relating to that, so if the county can agree, yeah, this is the job description, it's a great one, but there's no need in this ordinance anywhere that says they will pay half.
Well, Daniel, 608 Kansas Street. My issue here is that we're dropping Can-Do, but Can-Do for 35 years, I think it started in the 90s, has this relationship with the various entities, or like Whirlpool and especially Nucor and other businesses. I mean, it has an establishment. I mean, your own word says that they got together every so often and sat there and spoke. I mean, if we don't even have a director or an executive for this new organization, I mean, who's reaching out to these entities that exist? I mean, are they just not? Are they still meeting at the current level that Can-Do is? I mean, until it stops getting funding, or is it? I mean, is anybody in the city actually reaching out to these entities? Because I mean, let's face it. Let's say if Nucor decides to pull out for some reason, it's like, what do we got? We've got an empty building. And so I'm just kind of wondering, maybe we should have sat there and decided to set this up, maybe fund them for another year while we're setting this up, and then make our goodbyes, say we'll fund you for another year or two, but we're gonna go our own way, and since they're, after that, it'd be done with. I mean, as it is right now, we've basically separated ourselves from them, and it's like, but we haven't really put the footwork in. So, I mean, as bad as Can Do might have been, I mean, it still had the structure. It was still having the meetings. It was still, it was still doing something. Doing bad, but it was still something. But, I mean, we're starting at ground zero with nothing like we were in the 90s.
Mr. Rollins?
Yeah, I don't know that we would be starting at zero, because as you were speaking, I was thinking, of a couple of the more recent economic announcements, I guess, to the Marion area. One being WyanDOT, which I think was mostly negotiated by the administration. So that was a great announcement, doing exactly what you suggest. We didn't need Can Do or an economic development person to do that. We had the administration that heard the call, responded, negotiated with WyanDOT, and here we are. The other big announcement, Whirlpool, really has nothing to do with an economic development director or the administration, no offense. Those were business decisions made mostly because Whirlpool decides to use U.S. steel, is my understanding. So, again, two great announcements for Marion, what I would call economic development, both made without the help of Can Do or somebody in an economic development position.
You do understand that, of course, Whirlpool is very important to the county commissioners. So, since it actually technically lies outside of the city of Marion.
Sure.
So, I just wonder, maybe we should have done. I mean, the city should have sat there and set up the organization, and then just, instead of just. It sounded good at first, but now it just seems like, you don't even have an executive director, and you're gonna pay him $120,000, and nothing against it, but, I mean, I don't think the mayor of Marion makes that kind of money. I mean, I'm not asking, but, $120,000 a year sounds quite a bit. I mean, of course, if the county decides that they don't want to put half the bill, then we're going to have to
stop. Yeah.
No.
Or
Yeah.
not do it at all.
Thank you. Mr. Prater?
Yeah. Under the preferred qualifications about the bachelor's degree, the 3 years experience, the economic development certification, let's just say they set $120,000 at the max salary. If somebody doesn't have that bachelor's degree, the 3 years experience in economic development, they would not qualify for that top, so maybe pay them the $85,000, $90,000, that, like Ms. Craig had pointed out before, that they aren't required, they're just preferred. So that could be maybe amended or changed to where, or just when they're hired, if they don't have those exact qualifications, maybe they're not going to get the top salary.
Tammy, 365 Silver Street. I agree with that. It should be experience and performance-based. That's typically the way salaries work. But Ms. Larkin helped me out here. So I do see that it still says reside within the county of Marion within 6 months. Didn't we say we're not allowed to do that?
It says preferred, not required.
Okay. All right. I just noticed that it was bolded and underlined.
It's really preferred.
I would agree that it is preferred, but I guess I came back to Mr. Schauber's point. So short of me going through here, there's no guarantee that the county's going to pay anything. So we might say, yes, let's do this, $120,000, and now we're on the hook for $120,000 position.
But we're not, because if it doesn't go through with the county, it doesn't go through at all.
But that's not what this says.
Well, the legislation is a partnership with the county, and if the county fails to go into the partnership.
But that's, he just said they're agreeing to the job description, they're not agreeing to the funding. So I guess that's my misunderstanding, which I'm prone to.
Mr. Ratliff?
So this ordinance here, we don't agree to the funding either.
Okay.
The funding gets agreed to on January 1st when the budget's passed. So this creates,
So maybe we could postpone this then, if that we're not even gonna have funding until January 1st. And we could get the county to agree to put something in writing and say, hey, yeah, we want to be part of this hiring, because I'm seeing like economic boards and all this other stuff they're gonna be giving reports to. I mean, that's all new stuff. But maybe we can get the county to give us a little resolution or something and say, yes, we want to be part of this, yes, we will fund half of it up to this dollar amount. I think as residents, that would make us feel a lot better. We're going into fiscal distress.
Right.
And you're creating a six-figure job. So as a resident, I just want to make sure next year, the city of Marion isn't 100% on the hook. And then another ethical concern is, what if it's good for the county, but not for the city? Or what if it's good for the city and then not for the county? Who wins there? How do we decide if they're representing both of us? Because we have to admit, there's situations where it would be more advantageous for a business to be in the city and the county loses out. Or I'd say, okay, you're nodding your head down. But, okay, so let's say they move out to the county then and we don't get the income tax, for example. Do you see where the ethical concern could come in there though?
so the county is funded primarily through
Us.
income tax, I'm sorry, through property tax
And sales tax.
So they technically wouldn't be affected if it went in the city or the county. The city is funded through income tax. So even at like Whirlpool, a lot of city people work there. And then you pay your 2% of what that you make there because there is no local tax there. So we do reap the benefit of a Whirlpool that's located outside of the city. We get tens of thousands of dollars off of Whirlpool employees into the city coffers, and right from your husband's paycheck.
Yes. Yes. I guess my concern would just be that I don't know if you can, the money is the primary concern.
You know, and there's two ways to look at that. Okay, there's look at it as, what if you have to lay off a cop in 2026, and if you didn't fill this job, you wouldn't have had to do it. Well, the other flip side to that is what happens in 2030 or 2035. And so your economic development is not a short-term play.
I agree.
And if you're not, you know, I've heard enough can-do directors say, you know, if you're not at the plate swinging the bat, at some point you're going to miss the ball.
But look where that's gotten us.
Well,
I'm not saying that should be dead. I think a lot of us would feel more comfortable if the county commissioner said, yes, we will kick up half the cost of this position.
I think you can be rest assured, if they do not kick up half of this, it's dead.
Because we don't have the money to pay for it, is that the reason why?
Because it is a partnership. We are not going to fund 100% of this.
You won't be here.
Well,
you aren't going to fund it, but I don't believe it.
I will not be here January 1st, but yeah, I truly do believe that. I truly do, and somebody has to act first.
Why can't we act jointly?
Well, because we don't have a joint meeting.
Well, we've agreed to this job description collectively. Why can't we agree to fund it collectively?
So, the county has agreed to the job description. That's correct. We did that jointly, and they've also agreed theoretically to fund the position, but somebody had to go first. So being that this person was going to be a city employee, we had to come to city council, create the job description or amend the job description that we currently have. Once that's done tonight, my first trip tomorrow during their admin meeting will be to go to the county and say, we passed it tonight, now we're going to work on a contract. The contract is what will seal the deal. And if we can't agree on the contract of them paying half, us paying half, which they've already agreed to.
Not in writing, but okay.
Well, not in writing, but they've agreed in concept to that's what we're going to do. So if we cannot agree to that in writing, I can rest assured that the city of Marion is not going to do this ourselves.
Okay.
We are not.
Rest assured, I like the way that sounds.
Rest assured.
719.
I will be here after the first year, and it's not going to happen.
One Marion doesn't exist, but there's a letterhead for it right there, Mr. Rollins.
Thank you.
The other small point is there is not an emergency clause on this, so it has a mandatory 30-day window.
Okay.
And, I think that there will be a lot more known of what they're going to do at the end of that 30-day window before this even goes into effect.
I can't keep my legislation straight. I thought I had an emergency clause. Thank you.
All right, we have a motion and a second on this issue. Anything else coming in? All right.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Ratliff?
Yes.
Mr. Schauber?
No.
Ms. Lang?
Yes.
Mr. T. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Prater?
Yes.
Mr. Dickel?
Yes.
Mr. R. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Rollins?
No.
Okay, motion carries 7-2. Move on to item number 4, old business. Ordinance 2025-111, ESID pass-through funds.
Ordinance approving additional appropriations in the Emergency Special Improvement District ESID Fund for the year ending December 31st, 2025, as amended.
Ms. Lang, this comes from your committee?
This came from Finance Committee with a 3-0 recommendation to approve, and this is basically a cleanup ordinance.
Could you repeat that last part? This is basically...
Cleanup ordinance?
Mr. Schauber?
Or can I have a date of when this payment was made?
I recall sometime in June from the committee meeting.
Ms. McGinnis?
I am checking right now.
Okay.
I can tell you for certain it was not in June, it was after that. I just don't remember the exact date.
Could it be in the fall? Could it have been in the fall?
I think it was in August, but I'm double checking. There was one paid August 11th and one paid August 12th.
Thank you. Mr. R. Smith?
Yes, this is just a grammatical thing. In section 1, it says the auditor is hereby authorized to appropriation money for the purpose of clearing negative line items. I would like to see that changed to either make an appropriation or to appropriate. Either of those would be correct, but it's not correct as it's stated.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, it should either be to appropriate or to make appropriation. Is that something you just take care of?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Smith. Any other discussion or questions?
Do we need to vote on that change since it's changing?
It's grammatical.
It's grammatical, okay.
Typographical.
Leave this as a
Second.
second reading. Sorry, no preference.
You should leave a second reading.
Thank you. On to new business. Item 5, Resolution 2025-022.
Resolution confirming the reappointment by the mayor of Laura Troutman to serve as a member of the Marion County General Health District.
This is actually a reappointment. Laura is a lifelong Marion resident, has worked at Whirlpool Corporation for 30-plus years, and she actually was appointed under the prior administration to the Marion County Board of Health, and I would encourage us to vote for her to continue to stay there. I've talked with her, and she likes doing that position, and she does a great job from what they tell me, so I would encourage council to make that so.
Right, thank you. Mr. T. Smith?
Make a motion to suspend.
I second, sorry, I second that. I second that also.
We don't need to do that for these, do we? Motion to suspend.
Do we typically do the 56, or I forget the appointments, or do they have to have committee consideration? I can't remember. Okay, never mind.
Okay, so, I'm sorry.
Mr. T. Smith and Mr. Prater.
T. Smith, thank you. All right, when you're ready.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Ratliff?
Yes.
Mr. Schauber?
Yes.
Ms. Lang?
Yes.
Mr. T. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Prater?
Yes.
Mr. Dickel?
Yes.
Mr. R. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Rollins?
Yes.
Motion to suspend the three reading rule carries. Mr. T. Smith?
Motion to adopt.
The motion to adopt Mr. Smith and Mr. R. Smith the second.
Mr. Schauber?
Mr. Schauber?
So there's just a spacing error. I don't think Mayor Collins wants to be known as, whereas Mayor B. Ill Collins forever in the record books of city government.
Thank you. Where is that?
The second whereas.
Yes, second whereas.
Oh, I see, yeah. Mayor B.
All right. Mr. T. Smith?
If I may, Mr. Schauber, is that a correction that the clerk is able to make without an amendment?
I think he can go put his little cursor on there and hit backspace, and the mayor will no longer be ill.
It was always that simple.
All right. Anything further? Questions or comments? All right.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Ratliff?
Yes.
Mr. Schauber?
Yes.
Ms. Lang?
Yes.
Mr. T. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Prater?
Yes.
Mr. Dickel?
Yes.
Mr. R. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Rollins?
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously. Item number 6, ordinance 2025-117, Patton Alley vacation.
Ordinance vacating part of a 16.5-foot public alley lying east of Lot 670 and 671 and west of Lots 684 and 685 in the Patton and Wallace addition to the town, now City of Marion, Plat Book 1, page 46, and retaining permanent easement rights.
Mr. Barr?
Yep, come out of Streets and Sewer Committee with a 3-0 recommendation to approve. We received it via the City Planning Commission with a 7-0 recommendation to approve. We have a public hearing set for December 8th. So if there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer. If not, a first reading.
Thank you. Item number 7 then, ordinance 2025-118, transit funding.
Ordinance authorizing the service director to apply for, receive, and administer the ODOT grant from the U.S. Department of Transportation, Federal Transportation Authority, and the state of Ohio, and declaring an emergency.
Ms. Lang, this comes from your committee.
This came out of the Finance Committee with a 3-0 recommendation to approve. This is funding for the transit for fiscal year 2027. If there's any questions?
I have a question.
Excuse me?
So we are matching up to 218,540 on this? Is that what this says?
I believe it's
So technically it's a match, but it's not like the other typical matches that we do for a grant. This is, they help us fund, or they help transit fund their operating and their maintenance budget every year. So this is money that would already be going towards our operating and maintenance budget. We're just matching that and they give us matching funds. So it's not like additional money we would have to find or appropriate or anything.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Rollins?
I'll make a motion to suspend the 3 reading rule.
Second.
We have a motion to suspend the 3 readings and a second from Mr. Dickel. Mr. T. Smith, did you have something else?
No.
When you're ready.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Ratliff?
Yes.
Mr. Schauber?
Yes.
Ms. Lang?
Yes.
Mr. T. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Prater?
Yes.
Mr. Dickle?
Yes.
Mr. R. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Rollins?
Yes.
This suspend carries. Mr. Rollins?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion to approve, and a second, it looks like, from Mr. R. Smith. Any further discussion or questions? All right, I'm ready.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Ratliff?
Yes.
Mr. Schauber?
Yes.
Ms. Lang?
Yes.
Mr. T. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Prater?
Yes.
Mr. R. Or Mr. Dickle?
Yes.
Mr. R. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Rollins?
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously. Transit funding. Item number 8 is next, ordinance 2025-119, opioid settlement scholarship appropriation.
Ordinance authorizing the auditor to make appropriations to the opioid settlement fund.
Ms. Lang?
This came out of the Finance Committee, also with a 3-0 recommendation. These are donations that the city of Marion has received. This will be bringing the money in, and then it'll be awarded through a scholarship to the YMCA Rec Center, supplementing membership costs for students.
Mr. T. Smith?
Motion to suspend.
The motion to suspend the 3 readings rule. Mr. Prater, you have the second.
Second.
I do have a comment, though.
Mr. Dickle?
We left something out at the committee meeting. You had accept donations and make appropriations, not just to make appropriation.
Are you referring to something that's in the minutes, or, I mean, in the
I think-
agenda?
I think we discussed that it was okay because it said that we received monetary donations.
Well, the ordinance itself was changed and not the cover on the agenda.
Okay.
Okay, so we're good on that. All right. Any other questions or remarks from council? Ms. Lang?
I believe there was a motion, we're waiting on a vote.
Oh, right, we were waiting on the vote for the suspension of the 3 readings. I'm sorry, I'm jumping ahead. When you're ready,
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Ratliff?
Yes.
Mr. Schauber?
Yes.
Ms. Lang?
Yes.
Mr. T. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Prater?
Yes.
Mr. Dickle?
Yes.
Mr. R. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Rollins?
Yes.
unanimously suspended the 3 readings rule. Mr. T. Smith?
Motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt, Mr. T. Smith. That looks like a second from Mr. Prater. Any other discussion or questions?
Okay, 365 Silver Street. Obviously, I don't have a problem with this. I just wonder why you're giving us the money and not the YMCA.
Mayor?
So it's not, so we are part of a national opioid settlement agreement. So every year we get money from the National Opioid Settlement Fund, comes into us, and then we have to pay out to them.
I just, this was from the Community Foundation, correct?
Oh, this one was, yeah. So this was the Community Foundation. We applied for a grant to offset the cost of membership.
Okay.
So it was a grant we applied for and received, and we're paying back out.
That makes more sense. I
Sorry.
couldn't figure out why they were donating money to us and not to the YMCA. That's my only question.
Yeah, on your agenda, it's kind of funky if you read it, but if you look at the ordinance, it's proper.
Anything else? All right, we'll take the roll.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Ratliff?
Yes.
Mr. Schauber?
Yes.
Ms. Lang?
Yes.
Mr. T. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Prater?
Yes.
Mr. Dickle?
Yes.
Mr. R. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Rollins?
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously to adopt ordinance on the opioid settlement. Item number 9, 2025-120 opioid settlement rec maintenance appropriation.
Ordinance authorizing the auditor to make appropriations to the opioid settlement fund.
Ms. Lang?
This came out of Finance Committee with a 3-0 recommendation, and this is to do repairs, I believe,
To the roof, I think.
to the,
Roof repairs, does that seem right over there in the auditor's office?
I think that's what it was.
Around?
this is to do repairs for the roof.
Yeah.
Mr. Schaubus?
The agreement between the YMCA and the city, it says that the tenant, in this case is the YMCA, is responsible for all maintenance, repairs, et cetera, and that the city has no obligation to fund any maintenance or repairs. So I can think of a million different things to use this $12,000 for. So why are we doing something that we're not contractually obligated to do?
It's probably, if I may, Madam President.
Sure.
In response to the question, the lease also contains a provision inserted by the YMCA that if there was a demand upon them to replace any important mechanical facility like a heating system or roof, they would have the ability to quit the lease and walk away. So I just wanted to share that. It's a trigger for them to be able to walk away before the mayor spoke. It was talked about going into the, and I wasn't at the conversations, at every conversation, but the need for the system replacement was known, at some time in the past. So that's why they inserted a provision that if the finance cost was to fall upon them, they had the ability, if they chose to walk away from the lease.
Does that answer your question, Mr. Schaubus?
Yeah, that is an explanation, because I remember when we first discussed this, the YMCA sent in someone to look at the facility to see what issues that they had. And I also remember that we tried to get some CDBG grant funds for that project.
Still working on
And
that.
so that's why I'm asking if.
This is something above and beyond that. So in the contract, it talks about regular maintenance items, and they take care of those regular maintenance items. But anytime something of a major nature comes up, like the heating system or AC or something like that, then we have relied on this opiate fund to also make those improvements on the building, being that the building's still ours and we have to maintain it, even though they're the leasee of the building. I don't know if that helps at all or not, but these were a couple of things we knew going into the lease with them that were aging out, and we had repairs on a regular basis trying to keep them up and running that we knew that we would eventually have to replace. And then the CDBG money we're looking at for the roofing, a whole roof project.
So this $12,000 is just a patch or a?
Well, this is for a patch plus also for part of the heating system. A replacement.
Replacing a rooftop unit.
Thank you.
Naomi Crick, 365 Silver Street. Again, I have no issue with the rec center because it's the place where my kid hangs out and a lot of other kids. But I recall when it was presented to us that we were not going to have any expense to the building. Because I remember my husband and I sitting beside each other, and actually Mrs. Fisher was sitting in front of us, and we said, boy, I would sign a lease like that, or, I wish I could sign a lease like that, or something to the effect of getting the tenant to take on the obligation of the entire building. Now, I know we already did work to the HVAC system, does that sound right, before they moved in, because it was pumping carbon monoxide, and we didn't want to be responsible for killing a bunch of kids.
Resident, like overhead resident heaters in the gymnasium, that's correct.
Okay, and again, no issue with the money being spent on that, but I mean, I'd have to go back, I don't know if minutes or recordings still exist, but I believe we were told at the beginning this was going to be at no cost to us, so.
Mayor Collins?
I just want to remind everybody that we do not have a rec department here at the city of Marion. This was a very prioritized goal of our administration, was to get something back open for the kids in the inner city downtown that they could go to and have a place to go. And for the money that we're putting in this rec center, we could never fund a recreation department on our own. So it's kind of a mutual thing between us and the YMCA, Marion City Schools, OSUN. Everybody's putting a little bit in to make sure that we have a place. That started out with 5 or 6 kids, now we're up to about 40 kids a day. So it's really, it's doing exactly what we want it to do, and at a very minimal really cost to us. And this isn't really general fund dollars that, I mean, this is opioid settlement money that's coming into the city that we see a very good reason to spend on that project.
Thank you. Mr. Schauber and then Mr. Dickel.
Yeah, it's a little bit off topic, but do we know the balance of our opioid funds? What we have on hand?
Currently, it's about 240,000.
Okay, so.
So, I mean, I look at it as, let's try to keep this program going a long time, so I don't want to spend that money on other things if I don't have to, rather than, use it for memberships and upkeep of the building and keep it open for the kids.
Mr. Dickel,
I was going to make a motion to suspend the free reading rule.
we have a motion to suspend three readings.
Second.
And a second from Mr. T. Smith. And
I think you have a
do you have a question or comment after?
A comment.
Yeah. Please come to the podium, give your name and address, please.
Mike Clark, 543 King Avenue, Marion, Ohio. Said that the HVAC repairs and roof repairs was approximately $12,000. Right.
Well, the roof and the HVAC are separate.
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
While sometimes roof does involve the HVAC with the curb stop if you're replacing the whole rooftop.
That's kind of where it's at.
For 12K, how big of a rooftop's on there, like 15, 20 ton?
I'm not sure the size, but this isn't any of the roof repairs. This is to replace the rooftop unit that is bad.
That's pretty cheap.
It is cheap.
Trust me.
And they did we asked them to get a couple different estimates. So.
And we also got costs of trying to repair it and replacing it.
Yeah, because I'm sure it's got R22 in it, so it's junk. So, but that's dollars well spent for the youth that it's hard to come by right now. So, thanks.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions? All right, they have a motion and a second to suspend the readings.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Ratliff?
Yes.
Mr. Schauber?
Yes.
Ms. Lang?
Yes.
Mr. T. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Prater?
Yes.
Mr. Dickel?
Yes.
Mr. R. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Rollins?
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously. Mr. Rollins.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve from Mr. Rollins and a second from Mr. T. Smith. Anything else? All right.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Ratliff?
Yes.
Mr. Schauber?
Yes.
Ms. Lang?
Yes.
Mr. T. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Prater?
Yes.
Mr. Dickel?
Yes.
Mr. R. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Rollins?
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously. Item number 10 is next. Ordinance 2025-121, burial fund appropriation.
Ordinance authorizing the auditor to make appropriations to the Safety Department Burial Fund.
Ms. Lang, this is also out of your Finance Committee.
This came out of the Finance Committee with the 3-0 recommendation, and it's to add funds to the line item.
Wishes of council.
Motion to, sorry, go ahead, Sean. Motion to waive the 3 reading rule.
Second.
Mr. Dixon, would you say that again?
Motion to suspend the 3 reading rule.
Thank you. And Mr. Barr, you had the second for that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Ratliff?
Yes.
Mr. Schauber?
Yes.
Ms. Lang?
Yes.
Mr. T. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Prater?
Yes.
Mr. Dickel?
Yes.
Mr. R. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Rollins?
Yes.
Motion to suspend carries. Mr. R. Smith?
Motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt from Mr. R. Smith and the second from Mr. Rollins, I think.
So moved.
Any further discussion or questions on that? All right.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Ratliff?
Yes.
Mr. Schauber?
Yes.
Ms. Lang?
Yes.
Mr. T. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Prater?
Yes.
Mr. Dickel?
Yes.
Mr. R. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Rollins?
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously. We'll come now to matters not on the agenda from administration and council. Mr. Ratliff.
So we heard tonight that there's $240,000 in the opioid settlement monies. And I'm sure that that has caveats of what it can and can't be spent for. But I sure think that, we need to look at what the needs are in our community, especially with SNAP benefits being shut off and so many of our people on those. To look at funds like this and what we can do as a community to help these people who are in complete need and dire straits right now. I'm not suggesting an entire $240,000, but I think that if we can put money towards helping people that don't have food and don't have money to get that food, I think that this is special times right now that, despite court orders and everything else, it's been run up and, I don't know when our government's going to reopen. I don't know when people are going to get these benefits again. But, I think that we should feel compelled to help.
Mr. Rollins, comment?
No, I absolutely would just piggyback off of Eric's comments and say I absolutely agree, and I would also add that it was great to see some of the outpouring over the last week with regard to the peanut butter jelly truck and the move for Uncrustables, and we saw, I think, a lot of folks in Marion step up to the plate in a very big way, and I think to Councilman Ratliff's point, if the community can step up in a big way, it's time for City Council and the administration to step up in a big way.
Just to address a few things with that, I'm not sure it would be allowable, but we can certainly look to see. It mainly is focused on drug prevention, drug education type issues, treatment, that kind of thing. And we never know. I hate to say we have $240,000 in there, but we know that that's going to fluctuate, right? So it's going to start reducing next year, and so we're going to receive about half of what we would normally receive next year. So it'll continue to reduce over a period of time. But we can certainly look at that and see if there's any way any of that money can be used for that type of thing. And just around here at City Hall, during our staff meeting and an email we put out to everybody, we're taking donations downstairs for food banks. So I appreciate that effort.
Thank you. Ms. Ratliff?
I knew that was the provisions on there, and my thought is, there's no almost better prevention to not having somebody turn to drugs or to sell drugs than give them a way to feed their family when that they can't. I know in the last week, we have taken two donations over to the, and I know, one of the days, actually was said, let us know if the freezer is full, because we have to go in there and, we have to have room for people because it's not a huge freezer there. And, I don't know what the avenue is. I believe that the money can be used for that. I think that the council tonight, and I will make it in the form of a motion, that we set aside $25,000 for this out of that, and let the administration figure out what groups to give that to best serve the needs. And I'll make that in the form of a motion.
We have a motion.
I will second.
And a second from Mr. Rollins.
I'd like to make a comment very quickly, Naomi Craig, 365 Silver Street. The outpouring of Uncrustables at Peanut Butter Jelly Truck has been incredible. And I was the one that told your wife, please let me know if it's full so I can go and load the Uncrustables. Bless the citizens of Marion, because you guys have came through in a big way. But I think that if we can allocate $10,000 from the general fund to throw a party, strongest town, I think the strongest town would step up to feed their residents when they're hungry. And, you know, how we decide to spend that $25,000 or whatever we allocate, I know Salvation Army is able to get like 3 meals for every dollar that is donated through the Mid-Ohio Food Bank. And we should take a look at the homeless shelter also, because those people have lost their SNAP benefits, and I know that is very dependent to drive their ability to eat down there as well. But yes, I was shoulder deep in Uncrustables today, so thank you to the City of Marion and County and whomever, because they're being Sam's Clubbed in. I was eyeball deep in Uncrustables today, so thank you to everyone.
Thank you. Mr. Schauber?
Yes, I hope this motion passes this evening, and to the administration, so you're not trying to recreate something that we've already done. There's a model that what we did with the ARPA funds that we received, that we gave, I forget if we set a limit or what, but if a business came to the city and demonstrated a need, we gave them the funds. So there's already a model set in place in how to do this.
Thank you.
I live in the county.
Do we need to have a vote on?
I'll make a motion.
Motion in a second. And,
We need to take a vote.
Yeah, you still gotta take a vote.
go ahead.
You're still not in.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Ratliff?
Yes.
Mr. Schauber?
Yes.
Ms. Lang?
Yes.
Mr. T. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Prater?
Yes.
Mr. Dickle?
Yes.
Mr. R. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Rollins?
Yes.
Thank you, council. My name's Brett Belcher, 30489 Hart Road, and I think I can speak a lot on this, but I'm also willing to make myself available for creativity and research on part of that pathways and what you also described. I want to thank the mayor for his cautiousness and the vision that is long-term for the rec center, that those funds may not always be there. In fact, they're already limited in how long they'll be dispersed throughout the state. May I also recommend to council that you reach across over to the Item H board, who has reserve funds as well. Not always easy to access, but I will tell you specifically, and I don't say this facetiously, but I say this as that there is the ability to do it. I've actually seen where a treatment center will get funding from the Item H board for mulch. So if you can get money from the Item H board for mulch, surely, the way a lot of these treatment centers work, I'm just being honest, I can show you it. So right now, just locally, we'll just talk locally, right? So let's say you have a total of 100 recovery housing beds. I'd say that's pretty close. That's a lot of beds. I would say half of those, if not a little more, closer to 75 beds, are people that are coming either from a longer-term detox, which means they're homeless and they're in search for aftercare. They're coming from prison, which means they're homeless or need aftercare, or they're being court ordered, which means they're homeless or need aftercare. I say this because it's just, I don't know, it's normal for me to look at it this way. But in any case, most of the treatment centers, and this isn't a negative aspect, this is just kind of how the state has organized certification and licensure, et cetera, and access to what's appropriate at a treatment center. Do they pay for the food for the guys coming? Most of the time, no. Most of the time, those funds are dependent on SNAP benefits for the individual. Yes, in fact, the programming is more along the lines of it's time to take personal responsibility for your life, your health care, your recovery, your children, your housing. All of these things are the ultimate goal most of the time. With the benefits hit, and there are some centers locally that provide emergency assistance, they'll have like a food pantry area, et cetera. And some even design it to where the new guy at the house is taken care of by the longer guys in the house, right? But there is a way, and that is amazing, and it is needed beyond measure. Yeah. Also, Goodwill is doing housing with children. Did you guys know that? They might be in need as well. So, but I do respect the longevity planning, and so I think that we can have a problem.
Thank you. Ms. Lang?
And this is all being based on, we don't know if we can use the opioid settlement for this. So if we can't, would there be a possibility that we could reallocate some of the funds that we set aside for Can Do and use part of those funds to allocate for people in Marion?
Mr. Schauber?
To answer Councilwoman Lang's question, yeah, we're council, we can dictate where finances go. We are the purse.
Madam President,
Yes.
I need to get some clarification from the law director. Does this have to be added to the agenda? Does it require an ordinance number? And do we have to follow the standard procedure? Or can we just?
So earlier, I heard
I'm confused.
Councilperson Ratliff, or I'm sorry, who made the motion? There was a
Mr.
motion to, in essence, advise the administration that they could utilize up to $25,000 of the monies in the opioid fund if the opioid fund monies are permitted to be used to be forwarded to former SNAP recipients. The administration had the authority to do it. That doesn't need to be an ordinance or resolution. That's just given the administration the indication from council of what they're authorizing administration to do. Depending on where it goes from here, it may get to the point where it would need to be an ordinance resolution, but for tonight's purposes, I would say no.
Okay, I wanted to make sure.
Mr. Barr?
I just wanted to add that there's 11,700 SNAP recipients in Marion County. You know, that's 18% of Marion. And there's 60% of those are children or seniors. So I would encourage this council to pass this.
Mr. Rollins?
The other thing that I want to add, you can have your own personal opinions on SNAP benefits, but the economic truth behind SNAP benefits is for every dollar invested into SNAP, it creates $1.73 in economic input into the local community. So that's 130 or 173% ROI. That's unheard of in government. So this is a program that is really viable. That's all.
Great. Well, we have a motion and a second to act on this. Mr. Bodine?
Oh, go ahead with that. Mine's separate.
Okay.
You ready?
So, I believe I am, yes.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Ratliff?
Yes.
Mr. Schauber?
Yes.
Ms. Lang?
Yes.
Mr. T. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Prater?
Yes.
Mr. Dichtel?
Yes.
Mr. R. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Rollins?
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously about our SNAP benefit recipients. Mr. Ratliff?
I am going to make a second one, which kind of piggybacks off of that one, which says if we cannot use opioid money to pay for this, that we use general fund dollars. And we give the same authorization. If we cannot, that we're going to do it whether we can use the opioid money or not.
And I see.
I think we should be able to, but if we can't, I still want to do it.
Mr. Rollins, second?
Second.
Anything further or questions or comments on that? Alrighty.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Ratliff?
Yes.
Mr. Schauber?
Yes.
Ms. Lang?
Yes.
Mr. T. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Prater?
Yes.
Mr. Dichtel?
Yes.
Mr. R. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Rollins?
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously for a Plan B. We had Mr. Bodine waiting.
I just wanted to add to the, two things real quick, add to the conversation. I did also see that Bucci's is offering no questions asked. If you need a meal, go and get that. So I think that's highly commendable and also very discreet at the same time, so no one's embarrassed. I think that's a wonderful thing. On a separate note, I handed each one of you a two-page little packet about the Go Bus. And what the Go Bus is a new initiative brought to us by ODOT, basically connecting select cities around Ohio with transportation on a Go Bus, which is completely done by ODOT. They have chosen Marion as a location as one of the stops.
Nice.
They're asking me to sign an agreement, but strictly the agreement is strictly just for them to be allowed to have this stop at Marion Transit. There is no, I'm bringing this to council just because A, I want you to know about it, and B, I want you to realize that it costs us nothing, and all the funds are being handled directly by ODOT. People can purchase a $5 pass on the Go Buses website, app, wherever they decide to have, and then get from Columbus to Marion, Finley, so on and so forth. So it's pretty exciting. It's going to launch tentatively on March 1st of next year. So that's the big news, and I just want council aware of it.
Thank you. That's great news. Mr. Rollins?
Just a real quick question. Are there plans to expand this in the future, like to these destination cities?
So basically there are, if you see the one down by Cincinnati, they're currently going to have 2 shuttles running at once. Our area is going to have 1 shuttle. So basically at X time of day, it's going to depart from Marion, and at X time of day, it's going to return to Marion.
Gotcha.
If the demand is high enough, they will expand it to offer more buses to do alternate routes. On top of that, just because of us participating in this program and the fact that we have such a nice facility with shelter, restrooms, etc., it also ranks us higher for future grant dollars for the transit organization.
Great news. Mr. Shelby?
Yeah, Service Director Bodine mentioned that a local restaurant is offering free meals to kids, no question, or families, no questions asked. Other restaurants are doing that too. I think that is an acceptable, it would be acceptable for us to reimburse those restaurants that are doing that with the funds that we just gave you authorization to use.
No.
Or not.
No,
That's just my opinion.
Mr. Rollins, your comment?
No, I would say if those private entities took it on themselves to offer something, that was on them. I think whatever we do should be in addition to that.
I guess I was saying that because I put the peanut butter and jelly truck within that group, because they're doing it already. So would the peanut butter and jelly truck be exempt from any of these funds?
They're an actual nonprofit.
Okay.
Next, any other matters now on the agenda? Mr. Dickel?
I just wanted to take a minute and thank the people of Marion. I went into my first foray into elected politics last week, and I'm proud of the way things went. And I wanted to thank Mr. Kreider, who's sitting here, and Mr. Clark and Mr. Rollins for running a quiet, clean, dignified campaign, and just let them know this has been a privilege in my life. And I want to congratulate you and offer you the best wishes. So congratulations to you gentlemen sitting here today.
It's been a pleasure to serve alongside you for this
Thank you.
short tenure.
Very short.
I agree.
Thanks.
Any other matters on the agenda? Mr. Prater?
Yeah, I want to make a statement. There was a controversy or a post I had made, and there was no intention in this to offend anybody. It's sometimes you just do this, you forward something on, and you just afterwards you think, oh, what a stupid thing I did. And it was no intention to offend or anything. I want to represent, I was re-elected to the 6th Ward. I want to serve the 6th Ward in the city of Marion, Ohio, to the best of my ability and everything else. I know one time my son told me, he said, Dad, don't be so political on Facebook. And I said, you know what, maybe I should listen to my 22-year-old son. And there was no need, there was no intention to hurt anyone. And I do want to say one thing, I am not a racist, a misogynist, or any of those things. And anybody that has known me or worked with me knows those things. So stop with that stuff.
No.
Anybody that knows me know that's not true.
I agree.
All right, thank you. Anything else? matters on the agenda. Moving on to public comments.
Tammy Craig, 365 Silver Street. First, please don't tell the public what to say while you're actually sitting up here in your official role as a councilman. You do have your right to freedom of speech and whatever, but when you're up here as a councilman, you don't get to tell the public what they can and cannot say. We have the right to say whatever we would like to say as well. I understand your perspective. You gave your apology. We can accept it whether we want to or not. Now, speaking of apologies, Mr. Schauber, I owe you an apology.
No, you don't.
Because, yes, I do. Last Monday, I hijacked your question session, wondering why you weren't getting any records. When I heard our policy is to fulfill records requests as soon as we get them, I think my soul left my body, so I had to get up and say something. So I apologize for hijacking you, because you and I have been tangled up in email threads 3-4 times where we were both asking for the same information. And instead of just answering us separately like they're supposed to do, they would answer us together, but then they wouldn't actually answer us. They would send us files that we couldn't read. And then when like 2 weeks would pass and I would say, hey, I don't know if Mr. Schauber got this information. And Mr. Schauber would say, no, he didn't get this information. So I know of at least 3 times that that's happened when I was involved in the email thread. And then it sounds like this was the 4th time that that happened. And as a citizen of the city of Marion, I apologize to you for hijacking you last week. But for the fact that you've been treated so poorly, and that because you're one of the honest people, information has been withheld from you for the past year, since December 10th, when that meeting didn't happen, that no one heard that was recorded. But I'm sorry to you, and we should all collectively as a city be worried what's going to happen when you leave. Because if you can't get records, I don't know how in the world the rest of us are going to get records. But I would suggest sunshine law training for the city employees, for the new council members coming in. Sunshine laws, because next year I'm going to start yelling on them.
Any other comments? Comments?
I think I'm going to take them to court.
Committees. Airports, lands, and buildings. Ms. Lang.
Nothing at this time.
Jobs and Economic Development, Mr. R. Smith.
Nothing at this time.
Legislation, codes, and regulations, Mr. Dickel.
Have we determined whether or not that's going?
I think it should probably go to municipal services.
Okay,
Was that the
nothing.
one we saw?
Yeah.
Nothing at this time.
Mr. T. Smith.
Yeah, I believe we have something to do with cybersecurity, so
Yes.
we will call a meeting at 6:30.
Thank you. Mr. Ratliff.
I will go 6:45, and that is to talk about the water rate increase that was on our agenda last time.
Okay.
45 or 35?
45. Cybersecurity will last a little bit.
Okay.
Mr. T. Smith, Regional Planning.
Yes, fourth Wednesday in the Prospect Room.
Excuse me, that's December 3rd. I'm sorry.
December 3rd.
Yeah, it was
December
moved.
3rd.
Combined meeting.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
My email is down. Thank you, Mr. Langeza.
So the next one will be December 3rd.
Yes.
Same place. Okay, thank you. Mr. Barr, Streets and Sewers.
Nothing at this time.
Traffic Commission.
Yeah, we'll go 650, review of Lee Street, Silver Street.
And Mr. Prater, Zoning and Annexation.
Nothing at this time.
And Ms. Lang, Finance.
Yes, 6:55 to go over old business reports. And I know we're going to have the 2026 preliminary budget to present to Finance Committee.
Okay. Thank you. With that, we are adjourned. We've already passed public comments there was a little too much chatter, I think, when I announced public comments, but if you got something, is that all right, Mr.
All right, I'll make this quick. So, my name is Tony Pettis, 607 and a half Herman Street, Tanya, Tonia, Pettus, Pettus.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. All right, so first I want to say I really appreciate the Night Moves bus. When I lost my vehicle, it's really been a great thing, the public transportation here, and I wish that you all would expand it to more nights, Monday through Saturday, because it's a great benefit to the people who don't have vehicles. Even though it's a city, it's still quite rural. So if you don't have your own vehicle, it makes it hard. And then the other thing is that, is there a possibility that the transit system could update its payment system? Because as of now, it's just cash and check. So if you don't carry cash or check and pay during the hours, then you can't get a bus pass. That's very inconvenient. I actually don't carry a lot of cash. I use a lot of, credit cards. So I can't call and pay for a bus pass over the phone. I can't go in and pay for a bus pass with a credit card. And when I board the bus, if I don't have cash or the correct change or the bus pass, I can't ride the bus if I don't have a credit card. And that's very inconvenient.
If you don't have cash, you mean?
If I don't have cash, right. If I don't have cash or
Okay.
or a bus pass, I can't ride the bus.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
That could use an upgrade.
Yes.
I
agree.
Thank you. And the city move, the night moves, like I said, it's a great service. I wish you would expand it more, because there are people in the city who, like, I have to depend on the public transportation. But if the city moves would be like 5 to 11, Monday through Saturday, I could work more hours, so I could work at night. But right now, as it stands, it's just Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and no outlook for Sunday.
Ultimately, that is our plan, to convert night moves into a nightly service. All that being said, due to all this situations at hand right now, I cannot promise that at this time. But that is the ultimate plan. I mean, it's clear after having night moves ran its course for a little over a year now, that the biggest need for night moves is not the 10 stops. The biggest need is for people like you, citizens like you, who need to get to work just like you would in the daytime. So we want to be that city that offers nighttime service and offers something that the community needs. So I will tell you that's high on the list. I hope that we can accommodate that. We'll see how 26 rolls with the budget and different things like that, because we are cutting a lot of things to try to get in a best position for what's possibly to come. So,
What does that mean, that statement you just made there?
well, I mean, the mayor spoke about sending a letter to the state for fiscal analysis. So we're kind of waiting on that to hear back what their suggestions are as far as that goes.
So would they cut night moves?
They wouldn't cut anything. But what we're trying to do, we're trying to be responsible, and we're trying to look at all of our budgets. The mayor spoke earlier about having multiple meetings with multiple departments, taking a hard look at all the different line items and say, hey, do we really need this? Do we really need this? Do we really need this much for this thing?
Okay.
So there's been a lot of work with our budget director, Chelsea, and the mayor, and also all of our departments to kind of look at that. On a second note, I will tell you the night moves already accept credit cards. The daytime buses
Yes, it
does
does.
not.
Correct.
But night moves does.
Well, I mean, I do use the night moves, and I use my credit card for the night moves. But if I have to maybe take the bus during the day and I don't have my bus pass, and I just have credit, then I'm inconvenienced. Like I have to go get cash out somewhere.
I would feel exactly the same.
And it's
I will
happened,
tell you,
yes.
We are working on it, so.
Okay. But,
I appreciate your comments.
You're welcome, but I did have to come here tonight and just commend the night moves. It's a great service, $2 door-to-door service, and it helps people who want to, perhaps they don't want to drink or drive. And so you can't beat it. And then the cab service here is not the best, and they kind of capitalize on people who want to use it, and then at night, like sometimes 9 o'clock, they either are unavailable or they charge too much. So
Exactly. And I'll just say one, since you brought up night moves, I'll just say one more thing. I want all the citizens to know, us as administration, our main goal is to do whatever we can to make this city better. Night moves, at its initial thought, it may have been a swing and a miss, but at the end of the day, we found out what the need actually is, people like you. And that started us down this journey. So there was a purpose for it being started. And everything we do, whether it works or not, is to better this community any way we can. I'm born and raised in Marion. I've lived here my whole life. And I care completely about this community more than any place else.
well, I'm just letting you know, someone who's recently lost their vehicle, and has to rely on public transportation in a very rural area, that night moves is a lifesaver. I promise you that.
Thank you
All right,
very much.
thank you, I appreciate it. Did you want to say something?
No, actually, I have more of a question for them. So sometimes you sit down here and you hear something for the first time that maybe you should have known, and I don't know. Or maybe everybody else on council knew this except me, but why does Night Moves accept credit cards and the other buses don't? I don't understand.
You have a good question.
And he
So that's
beat
what
me
we're
to
working
it.
on, Right, that's what we're working on. So it was kind of the pilot with the night moves to offer that credit card swiper.
It's done through Square.
Yeah, so it's done through Square, and we're trying to figure out a better alternative. We gotta catch up with the age, right? I mean, hardly anybody wants to carry cash, they all have a debit card, and we're working very hard to get to that point where we don't have to make somebody dig in their pockets for a couple bucks, and they can buy the pass with the card and all that, so.
Okay.
I think you'll see some positive moves in that direction.
Mr. Kreider.
Good evening, Scott Kreider, 270 Center. Just to kind of further comments on the night moves and so forth. I had served on council 2014, 2015. We had monies left over from the CDBG grant that we, it was like $7,000 or so. We had 3 bus passes that we gave folks. We had a real need then for, I had been working on a survey with Joanne Zimmerman, if you knew or know who she is, and we were determining. The survey said that, and to determine how many people would ride the bus for like second shift work and so forth. And I don't know if there's a way to update that survey or that information. I think you probably have some sort of findings from the past year and so forth, but I just want to make sure that, you have that connection, we've had that need for a while, and, but if there's anything, and I don't know if Ken would be able to remember that.
I think I can answer that real quick for you. Congratulations, by the way. The state just did a survey for us at a pretty great expense to the state. And they came up with a list of our needs and what the priorities should be, and that extended hours service certainly was one of them. So they looked at all the employers and who could go to work when. So exactly what you're talking about has just been updated this past summer.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you. Any further comments? Right? Sure. Hearing it, we are adjourned, 8:19.
I have 10 jars of peanut butter. I know where to drop it out.
So I give them to her over there?
Yeah. Tim George.
Yeah, we